Hello, my name is Clive from clivesart.co.uk and thank you very much for pressing that play button. We're going to be working on a black canvas today, so that's going to be exciting. So join me after this very quick introduction and we'll get down and start the painting. Nice.
Hey, welcome, thanks for stopping by. It's time to learn with our friend Clive. So grab your brush, have a great time.
As I said in the introduction, we're going to be working on a black 18 by 24 canvas, yes. So I primed it twice with black gesso and it's dry, so it's ready to paint. I thought we'd do something different today. I thought we would work through some old lessons. What I mean by old lessons is one of the first lessons I did, and it's quite a popular video, is that one. Do you remember Deer at Sunset? Now I've still got the tracing of the deer. So I've always said keep your tracings because you don't know when they're going to be useful. So I thought it would be a good idea if I actually utilised the deer today and tried to put that into a painting. Also, I come up with an idea as well. A while ago I did a misty forest. There we go. And that was done on a little 20 centimetre by 20 centimetre canvas. So I thought, would it be a good idea now if we took it from this stage onto a bigger canvas. Now I know a lot of you have left comments on that and you've said how much you enjoy doing that type of thing. So I thought it was about time we actually tried to pull in a couple of lessons together now and tighten them up, and let's make a composition and let's make a painting as I'm doing it. This is unplanned for me. I've just got a couple of ideas and a stencil or two that I might be able to use, and I really do not know how this painting is going to turn out. So it's a bit of fun for me because normally I pre-sketch everything out and see how things go. But yes, let's have a bit of fun. So before we do that, let's just have a look at the colours, or lack of colours on this particular stage, that we're going to be using in the lesson today. And they're behind me on the palette. So let's go and have a look at those. As I said, yes, this is the palette. It's a wet palette. It's all it is a plastic box with a lid. Now, you can see it. This is the lid of my box, and it's got loads of colours on it. And this will all peel off, or if you soak it a little bit, or put a little bit of rubbing alcohol or surgical spirits, something like that. If you want to put a little bit of that on it, it'll clean your lid off. But I use it for mixing, so it's quite universal. Now, what we're going to do today is not actually going to use the inside of the palette. I'm going to use the inside of the lid of the palette. Now, I put a little bit of parchment paper or baking paper, as we know it in the UK, on there just so you can see what I'm going to be doing. And all I'm going to be doing today is using white and black gesso in this particular stage. Now, this is my product. I make myself. And there's recipes on YouTube for you to go along and see if you can make yourself some gessos. You can make your gessos in all different colours. All it is basically is a chalk paint. And it's very economical, and you'll save yourself tons of money, trust me. But if you want to go and buy some, then obviously go and buy some. So I've got that, and I made some black as well. I put my black into a squeezy bottle because it's just easier to decant it. And I just haven't got one spare for my white. But that's all I'm going to use today. I got these little wax containers that you can pick up in one of the burger restaurants. All you got to do is ask and they will give them to you. Trust me, that's what I did. And that's all we're going to be using is black and white gesso, and we're going to make some greys in between. Now, as far as brushes are concerned, well, I've just picked up some brushes at random. It doesn't really matter what type of brush you're going to be using for this part of the technique. All we want to do is just get some clouds in there, not clouds but some patterns in there. I'm going to be using some kitchen towel, and that's all that we're going to be using today. That's it. So without further ado, let's get on to the painting. Okay, so we got our 18 by 24 canvas panel, and as I said, we've pre-gessoed that with black gesso. That's homemade gesso. And in this little example here, you can see that we've got a bit of a bright spot. So what we want to do now is try and develop that bright spot. We're going to change the trees and the foreground and everything else, but I think it's a good idea to actually use a reference of an old painting. When you've done it once, do it again. Yes, and that way you're going to learn and you're going to be able to expand on your experience. And I think it's a fantastic thing that we can do that. So let's just get a little bit of kitchen towel. There we are. I'm going to scruffle it up like that, and I'm going to put a bit of gesso just down like that, and I'm just going to pick up some gesso. I'm just going to tap it like that. You don't want too much gesso on your kitchen towel, but you want to leave those patterns. You want this to be loose and free. And then we're going to make a decision. This is the big decision. We've got to decide where we want the white, where we want our bright spot to be. We could be there, it could be there, it could be there. In this particular instance, I think I'm gonna have some trees here, I think, and I'm just gonna tap in a bright spot like that, just a little bit more. And as it comes out, it fades and fades and fades. So get a little bit more back in the center, brighten that up, but bring it out like that. Now we know we're going to have a deer or a stag or something in here, so I want a bright area there. I want to show that as if it's some rays of light coming through or something like that, and I want that deer or stag to be in like a silhouette. And I think because we got Christmas looming, we'll try and turn this into a nice Christmassy type of painting, and might put a little bit of snow in, but I can't guarantee that there'll be a lot of snow, but maybe there may be, I don't know yet. We are making this up as we go along. You like this? Not a lot, but you might like it. So you carry on doing that. Bring in that brightness through, and as it comes out, you just want to diffuse it a little bit more here and there like that. And don't worry, a lot of this is going to be taken up with some trees. Now you've seen me doing something very similar to this on another video I did when I was trying to emulate Mr. Bob Ross, and that was Wilderness Day. So I did a black gesso painting, underpainting basically, and I think that these black canvases are brilliant things. I've got to be honest with you, they really are. So you just keep doing that. Let's just get that the way we want it. And a couple of little brighter spots here and there and here and there and there and here. And just don't worry too much. Be free, be relaxed, enjoy this. Now, what we got to do is dry that off. Now, I think the best thing to do, rather, if you want to sit around for 20 minutes, that's fine. But what I tend to do is get a hairdryer on it. And if you haven't invested in a hairdryer, I suggest you get one, because you can pick them up for about £3 or £4 these days in places like Tesco's. I was just making sure it was switched on. So what I'm going to do now is going to dry that off very quickly. And it's important that you make sure it is dry, because it's chalk paint basically, so it's a water-based paint, as you know, same as acrylics. And now you can do this method with oil paints, but you make sure this is really dry before you start painting oils on top of it, so you can use a glazing technique. Anyway, we're talking too much now, Clive, so let's get a little bit of moisture in my little pot. This is just water, it doesn't really matter. Don't have to worry about medium mixes and anything like that. We don't have to put my medium mix flow improver or my retarder, or you don't have to put any flow improvers in it. You don't even need to use a fine mist bottle, because this is just gessos, so there's no need to do anything like that. So let's get a little bit of black into that white. There you go. So I want these to be quite dark in the background, coming in to greys and into whites. It's a bit like a black and white painting. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put in a couple of trunks here and there like that. Very, very simple, very, very similar to our deer painting we did the other week, where we were just putting lines in. Do you remember when we put the lines in? I put the winter stag, I did the winter stag. Now, if you feel that, like I do, that's not quite dark enough, so get a little bit of, just get a little bit of acrylic, just get a little bit of Mars black, and let's get a bit of that out on the, come on, there we are, put a bit of Mars black, that's a nice dark colour, mix that in with the gesso, so you get a nice black, and mix some water with that, that's better. Oh, there we are, this sets off even better then at the background, and nice light marks like this, there you go. Make them a little bit bigger as they come towards the foreground. There you are. Let's just put that down a minute and we'll get our fan brush. We've got a little fan brush here. And I'm just picking up a fan brush and I'm just going to put in a up a little bit more black. Putting some black in there like that. Let's put another one there. It may be a good idea sometimes, just leave a little gap as well. And then this one's fallen over, look, so let's put him in there. Let's just put some shapes in. And let's mix a little bit more. Let's mix it grey. And let's just put a this is just gesso, so all you want is some gesso there, and just put a couple of, just push up with your fan brush, or you can get any brush, it doesn't matter. All you're looking for really is effect. The important thing is with this, you're going to need to make sure there's it's grey and black and white, so just put in a couple of patterns. Don't kill all our black. Let's put some patterns in like that. And this will all be self-evident as we progress through the painting, I hope. I hope. So let's mix a bit more white now. Let's get a bit more white gesso, and let's just put some shapes in here. We'll get a nice bit of black there. Let's mix some white. Trying to keep the white pure if we can. What we're going to have to do, I think, is just brighten up a couple of areas like that. Now I'm going to dry that off. I'm going to wash my brush. I'm going to dry that off. There you go. So let's get another pattern. Let's get another pattern in this mix here. That's actually gone a little bit hard. I didn't wash my brush out properly. See, it's gone a little bit hard, but it doesn't matter. We'll get on to this now and see if we can put some more patterns in there. So again, I'm going into the grey. I'm just going to put a couple of lighter marks there. Let's pick up some white. Be a nice idea if we had some sort of a path in there. We could bring a bit of path in there, I think, at a later stage. I don't like that brush. So what we're going to do now is have a look at, see if we can, let's see if we can mix a little bit of nice grey. Let's see if we can put some grass in. Essence of grass. Tell you what would be a good idea. Let's put a big almighty tree by you. Let's put a nice big black mark there like that. So that's going to be in shadow. Let's bring our old trunk. This is an old boy, this one. Let's get him down there like that. And get that out. There's his foot there. Put a little bit of light down the side. There we go. Blend that in. So we can see him, because that's going to be a deep shadow there. So, and let's bring some more of this white over, taking the excess off. We can put bushes and grasses and all these different types of patterns out there like that. Let's get a bit more white. Just mix all this up together. You want to make it look grassy if you can, or bushy, or as if it's weeds and sticks and things, and we'll come into the stick section in a minute. Let's put get a little bit of white. And just play like that. Just try and develop. This is a real good way to learn how to understand contrast, etc. A bit more white, and don't be afraid, don't worry if the brush isn't doing exactly what you want. It doesn't matter. Just try. This is a good way to try and get to understand the brush. Sometimes it's a really good way. Let's put another bush or something going in there. There we are, coming out that side of that tree. Get a bit more white. And just there's no real way to do anything in this. You just want shapes and bits and pieces. You want to make it look as if it's possibly grass or bushes. Like I said, you want shapes more than anything. All this will be self-evident. It looks a bit of a mishmash of mess at the moment, but trust me, this is a lovely way to actually paint, and you can have so much fun doing paintings like this, and you can learn so much from, and like I said, tonal contrast. So you can see there's already depth developing in this painting. We've got a little bit of a possible pathway there. This is all going to be grasses and bracken and stuff like that, and you know, if you put a paint on a little bit thick, don't worry about it. Turn it into a little bush. There you go. We could turn that into a little tiny bush, and then just carry on. We've got a couple of thicker bits of here and bit of there, and just if you go to the woods, if you go to the forestry or somewhere like that, you'll see that it's everything's everywhere. So you really can't make a mistake doing anything really, because it's such a mismatch of grass and bracken and is weeds, and you know, we've got all this stuff going on. But what you're doing, the closer you come to the front, the brighter you want to get this. And if you want to put a little bit of titanium white into the paint, that's fine. You can do that. Just cover that up. Just keep pushing in with the brush. I'm just using the same brush. You want this to make as if it's a little bit of a grass area here. This is what we're looking for. A nice little grass area here, and just flick up like a bit like that, because that's the foots of the trees. And then let's get a little bit more. Let's put a little bit of a brackeny thing going on there, like that. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. And just keep going like this. And just fill up your canvas. Just fill up your canvas. What a fun thing to do. To be able to just put a little bit of black gesso onto a canvas, get some grey gesso and make some white gesso, and mix some grey gesso, I should say. Make some white. Well, you can follow my gesso recipe. You can save yourself tons of money. But just keep doing that and filling this canvas up, and this is the fun bit. You were painting, but you're not really concentrating. All you're doing is relaxing and having fun, and that's what painting with myself is all about. Fun in the studio with Clive, and I try to relax where I can, so that's important, that we just do things like this sometimes. And you know, when this is dry, we can always add a little bit more detail into it if we wanted to. And we got our stag. We got to think about our stag. Where are we going to put our stag? I don't know, but let's get a little bit of black gesso now and just put that in like that. We can redefine this tree. and we can change about, and we can play with things as we want to. Okay, so there we are. That's a tree there, and we got some background going in there, and then we can get our little script liner brush once more. And I've left that there. I hope it hasn't gone too hard. No, it hasn't. And all we can do now is put some little twigs and sticks and branches coming up here, there and everywhere. Put them in like that. Put a little stick of thing coming in there like that. There we go. Doesn't really matter where and what it doesn't really matter. Just flick in a few bits and pieces here and there, like his little twigs and stuff sticking up the ground, and we can put a twigs here and there like that. And just do as much or as little as you really want to do on this type of thing. You don't have to be too fussy, because a lot of this is going to be obscured, or it looks as if it's being obscured. These are just little branches are sticking out here and there, and what that does, it actually just gives it a little bit of shape and form here and there and there and here like that. And we can get any old brush, and we can just come down there like that. Like as if there's a little pathway leading into the woods. There you go, that could be going into there. And we can tighten that up later on. So that is all we need to do as far as that's concerned. Now the next stage is to decide what we're going to put into this. Then we're going to have a look at how we're going to colour it, because if you remember when I did this, I did the black and white painting, and then we put washes and washes and washes over this. Now if you want to make this particular one look shiny, we could go use glazes. Yes, we could use a glaze on it. But in the meantime, we've got to decide what we're going to put, where we're going to put it. Now we've got tracings, what I have, and there is tracings actually on Instagram and on Facebook as well. So if you want to pop along there, you'll be able to download these tracings. So let's have a look what I've got in my drawers. And as you can see, I've got a chest of drawers here with absolutely loads and loads of tracings in, because if I find something that I want to keep, and I've designed something that I want to keep, I'll make a tracing of it. Now that's what the old masters used to do. And in the case of old Bob the deer here, if you remember, that's the exact tracing that we used for him. We just altered it slightly. So never throw anything away. So there we go. And let's have a look. I make sure this is dry. I'm just going to run the hairdryer on that, and then we're going to come back to the painting and decide what elements we're actually going to put into this, and then we're going to turn it into a coloured painting. That's so exciting. So what we're going to do now in the next stage is turn this into a coloured painting and decide what elements are we going to put in, where we're going to put it, and that's the important thing. So I've got to let this dry, and then when we come back in part 2, then we're going to put the elements in and colour it. So thank you very much for joining me in the studio today. My name is Clive from clivesart.co.uk. Please like, comment, subscribe, give me the thumbs up, and well, I'll see you on part 2. So have fun. Bye. Nice. Hello and welcome. I just want to have a quick talk to you about this liquid clear. Yes, this is a liquid clear that I use during my wet and wet techniques. Now, they're in the iCard there. If you want to click that, that's going to take you into some videos to show you how to use this. Now, what I want to stress at this particular point, this is acrylic based. It is not oil based. This will not work with oil paints. Subsequently, there is another product on the market called Liquid Clear, and that is designed for wet and wet oil techniques, and that will not work. So do not mix the oil based and the water based together, because you will have major problems. So if you're working purely in acrylics, then have a look at this product that is available on my website, www.clive5art.co.uk, and please pop along there and have a look. There is a video in there explaining everything in more detail. If not, press the iCard and that's going to take you into some videos where I've actually used this product, and I'll let you make your own mind up.
Welcome, thanks for stopping by. It's time to learn with our friend Clive. So grab your brush, have a great time, and don't forget to click subscribe. Visit clive5art.co.uk.